attacked members of a rival Muslim sect. Again, hostages have been about 100 people were shot and wounded during ethnic violence.
Hey there, folks. My name is Michael Bertrand, and today I'm going to talk about Syria. Now, everybody's talking about Syria, obviously, seeing as the United States is contemplating invading the damn place. But from what I can see, there's some questions that nobody is asking that I think need to be asked. And so that's what I'm going to do today. Today, I'm going to ask 3 questions about Syria that no one else seems to be asking. Now, question number 1 is, doesn't it seem like a lot of the same people that are right now going, oh my God, no, not a war in Syria, not another war in the Middle East, oh my God, haven't we learned anything from Iraq and Afghanistan? Aren't they the same people that this time last year were going, oh my God, we've got to do something about Syria? What did they think do something would entail? Strongly worded letters? A Care Bear stare? If do something means war, okay? There's not another form of intervention that will work. So, before you go having a knee-jerk reaction and going, oh my God, we've got to do something, think about what something means, alright? My second question is this. Why is it that everyone is asking, should the United States intervene and fix the problem in Syria, and no one's asking, can they fix the problem in Syria? Can they? It's unique to the American spirit that they just tend to assume that they can do whatever it is they decide to do. But the truth of global war, the truth of this period in history, is that some problems can't be solved simply by an application of military force. Iraq is a perfect example of that. Militarily, the war was over in a heartbeat. It's what came after that was the hard part. So, can they? It might be the kind of problem that they can't solve. Or it might take a lot more than the Americans can bring to bear. I know Americans generally are incapable of thinking that way. They're passionate people and emotional people, and they don't readily submit to thinking in concrete, quantitative, evaluative ways. They don't want to stop and think and count soldiers and compare forces and things like that and make sober, calm, somewhat cold judgments as to whether you actually can accomplish something and if you do, what it'll cost you. But someone's got to do it. So, can they do it? Forget should. Before should ever comes up, there has to be can. But what I'm really interested in today is my third question. And it goes like this. The current regime, such as it is, in Syria, is not run by morons. They might be evil, but they're not stupid. They were listening when Obama drew his red line and said chemical weapons would go too far, which seems frankly ridiculous now that regular weapons have killed over 100,000 people in Syria, but be that as it may. They were listening when he drew that red line, and therefore, why, assuming that they, actually want to win the civil war, why would they ever use chemical weapons? Ever. That would be the one way to make sure they lose. Why would they want to bring the wrath of the United States and possibly the rest of the international community down upon their heads and guarantee that they will get bombed out of power at the very least when they could just as easily just stick to normal weapons and have it be just as effective? I don't know the answer to this question, but I think we really have to start thinking in those terms. Because essentially, even though this isn't Debya, and so it's not so nakedly obvious that this might just be a manufactured conflict, that the raison de guerre might be just a mere convenience for what the people in power want to do anyway. We still only have their word for it that this has happened, that this gas attack, this sarin gas attack has happened. And they're the ones trying to sell the war to us. And it's not the kind of thing where you can get independent verification. But you can stop and say, what was the government of Syria, illegitimate though it may be, thinking when it did the one thing that would get America to come in and kick its ass? What possible motive could they have? I think the answer is none whatsoever. And if we don't want this to become another Iraq, and I think that's what everyone's thinking, that's why support is only at 29% for this damn thing, we have to start asking this question now, not after the war, like we did with Iraq. Those are my thoughts for today, folks. Thank you for listening. Talk to you later.